Dear students, today we shall learn about the vertebra. You know, vertebra forms the axis of our body. So, this vertebra is included in the axial skeleton. Axial skeleton not only consists of vertebra, but it also consists of skull bones and ribs, sternum. So rib, sternum, skull bones and vertebra, all these form the axial skeleton. Now the vertebral column, what is the function of the vertebral column? Vertebral column, it is one of the components, it plays an important role in the framework of our body. Through the vertebral column, here you see there is a vertebral foramen. Through this vertebral foramen passes spinal cord, so it protects the spinal cord. From the spinal cord comes out spinal nerves through the intervertebral foramen, so it gives passage to the intervertebral foramen. This part is called body of the vertebra. Through this body, our body weight is transmitted to the body. So all these are functions of the vertebra. Now, how many vertebrae are there in our body? There are 33 vertebrae in our body. Out of 33, 7 vertebra, cervical region. In the cervical region there are 7 vertebra. So there are 7 cervical vertebra. At the region of the thorax there are 12 vertebra. At the region of the lumbar there are 5 vertebra. And then next sacral vertebra, and lastly the coccygeal vertebra. So there are 7 cervical vertebra, 12 thoracic vertebra, 5 lumbar vertebra, and 5 sacral vertebra, and 4 coccygeal vertebra. Out of these, the cervical vertebra, thoracic vertebra and lumbar vertebra, they are free vertebra, and sacral vertebra and coccygeal vertebra, they are united. That's why they are called fixed vertebra. 5 sacral vertebrae united to form the sacrum, and there are 4 coccygeal vertebrae. They are joined to form the coccyx. So there are 33 total in number vertebrae in our body. Now let us see the different parts of a vertebra. This part is called body of the vertebra, which lies anteriorly, and the rest of the vertebra, the rest part is called vertebral arches. Now, what are the components of the vertebral arches? This part, which is connecting the vertebral arch with the body, that is called this is called pedicle. And next, from the pedicle, another part is coming out. This is directed backwards and medially. That is called lamina. 2 lamina meets to form. This is called spinous process. From the junction of the lamina and pedicle, here you see, this is called transverse process. And another process which is projected upwards, that is called articular process, as it is superiorly situated, so superior articular process, and this is the inferior articular process. So there are now 2 inferior articular process, 2 superior articular process, 2 transverse process, and 1 spinous process. Between the lamina and pedicle and vertebral and body of the vertebra, there is a foramen that is called vertebral foramen. It is generally triangular in case of cervical vertebra, and it is circular in case of thoracic vertebra, and it is again triangular in case of lumbar vertebra. Now, this body consists of a rim of compact bone, except the superior inferior surface, which consists of spongy bone. There are several foramina from the surface of the body for the blood vessels. There is another foramina on the posterior surface of the body. Here you see basivertebral foramina. This is called for basivertebral vein. Now, vertebra, 2 adjacent vertebrae is connected by like this. They are connected by intervertebral disc. Here lies the intervertebral disc between the body of the 2 vertebrae and form secondary cartilaginous joint. Now, there is a notch on the superior aspect of the pedicle and the inferior aspect of the pedicle. When 2 vertebrae join like this, this notch is converted into a foramen. Here you see, converted into a foramen. This is called intervertebral foramen, which gives passage to the spinal nerves. Now, the vertebral foramen, when vertebral column are joined one after another, this vertebral foramen is converted into a vertebral canal. Through this canal is passing the spinal cord with its covering meninges, and these meninges consists of 3 layers. From outer to inner, they are dura mater, then arachnoid mater, then pia mater. So this vertebral canal contains spinal cord with its spinal nerves along with its meninges. Vertebra has got some regional characteristics by which we can recognize which one is cervical vertebra, which one is thoracic vertebra, which one is lumbar vertebra. Here you see, in case of cervical vertebra, here it is cervical vertebra. Here you see there is a foramen. Here you see there is a foramen in the transverse process. There is a foramen in the transverse process. This is called foramina transversarium. So if there is any foramina transversarium, then we can call it cervical vertebra. Now in case of thoracic vertebra, here you see there is a facet on the body and also facet on the transverse process. This facet is for the articulation of the ribs. Here you see this articulates with the ribs, so it is called costal facet. So by the presence of the costal facet, we can identify that it is thoracic vertebra. In case of lumbar vertebra, you see lumbar vertebra, we can identify lumbar vertebra because here there is no foramen transversarium, there is no costal facet. Apart from this, its body is kidney shaped, transverse process is greater than the antero-posterior diameter. Transverse diameter is greater than the antero-posterior diameter, and there is a concavity backwards. It is kidney shaped, body is kidney shaped. So body kidney shaped, and the absence of costal facet and foramen transversarium, then that vertebra is called lumbar vertebra. So these are the regional characteristics. And sacral vertebra we can recognize because it is a fixed vertebra. 5 sacral vertebrae joined to form this sacrum, so you can easily recognize this sacrum. And likewise coccyx also fixed vertebra. Here it is not available, so I cannot show you.